Alright, let's play some Escalation. So everyone, were you like me and very disappointed by the news that Transformers War for Cybertron is now offline? Well, there is some good news. If you still want to play Escalation, there is a way to do it, and I will show you how. Let's go over to campaign. And you will need to download a mod by BumbleBO, which I will put in the description. Thanks to him for doing this mod. I'm going to hit F1 here, and it's going to take me to the character selection for Escalation. And as you can see, it says campaign, but it is the Escalation map, and it plays exactly like how Escalation would play, except you're doing it offline on your own.
You may rejoice, citizens of Iacon. Your new ruler.
This brings back some great memories.
No longer will you be plagued by the birds.
And since you're playing it on your own, I would personally suggest doing a character like Air Raid, because he can both fly and he has invisibility when things get a little out of hand. But this is playing Transformers War for Cybertron Escalation in 2021. I was so disappointed when the servers went offline, especially because I was planning on getting a friend to play with me, like the day of. Like, I was like, okay, we got this all planned out, we're gonna get on Escalation tomorrow, because the servers for what Transformers game was it? It was either, I think it was for Revenge of the Fallen went offline first. I don't know, but one of them went offline, and then I was like, oh man, better hurry up and get to some Escalation sessions done before War for Cybertron goes offline, because that's just the way it seemed with Activision not having the rights to the games anymore, and they were, you know, not having a huge online audience. They're probably thinking like, oh, we'll just turn off the online section of the Transformers games. And then the day of, when we were going to play Escalation, the servers went offline, weren't able to. So as you notice here, you don't have the little thing at the top that shows you how much energon you have to spend, which does make this a little bit more difficult if you are keen on balancing out, like, okay, I want to save this much to open up a door, or if you like really need a like a energon cube, like health thing. It's like, okay, I go over to it, and it's like, oh, I'm like probably like 10 short. Now, if you are a typical console player like myself, and you do not do well with a keyboard and mouse, I am using a PS3 controller right now, and I was able to set it up, even though apparently this game was not meant to use a controller. So I had to go into Steam and manually map out all the buttons to the keyboard binds. So that took a little while, but I got it to be the exact controls that would be on the PS3. And if you need any help with that and getting your PS3 controller to work, I will link a video that showed me how to do it on my own. As you see, I'm trying to get this door to open. Don't know how much energon I have to spend. I'm definitely a little rusty. And as you know, something that's happened a lot throughout Escalation is that it'll like freeze once in a while, like for a second. That's just, I don't know what the deal with that is, but, you know, can't complain too much because just the fact that I'm able to play this is crazy. And this was always my go-to spot. Because, I mean, at least in the early rounds, because then they start spawning up here. But it's definitely, you know, it's hard doing this on your own, that's for sure. So you gotta be really strategic with it. Because, you know, your health goes down fast. See, it does that little, like, freeze once in a while. So yeah, like I said, if, you know, you don't want to use keyboard or mouse, you can use a controller. It just takes a little bit to kind of set it up. Need a little bit of computer know-how there. And let's take these guys out with the special ability. I'm not expecting to last too long. I've tinkered around with Escalation a little bit. This is the first time I'm like really trying to progress. The mod that I'm linking to also does come with a God mode. So if you just want to mess around, you know, get to the later waves, then you can do that with the God mode, and you can just keep killing all the enemies as they spawn in. But I want to see how long I can last on my first real Escalation attempt in probably years. I absolutely loved playing this game. Like, I don't want to like go as far as say it's definitely my favorite game of all time, but it might be my favorite game of all time. I put so many hours into this. I was like an absolute madman in multiplayer. I just would have so many games where I like didn't die or died once, went on like 15 kill streaks. And I was pretty good at Escalation. See, I need to get some ammo here. But I had been searching for anyone who would come up with a mod to play this offline, and Bumblebee delivered. So super big shout out to him. See if I have enough to get this door open. Nope. That's the only downside, is not knowing how much energon you have. Oh, I missed the bridge. But I tell you, just the thought of thinking you'll never be able to play this again and then being able to go into it is crazy. And it's super simple. All you gotta do, like I did at the beginning, is just go into campaign, and then you just hit the corresponding button that comes with the, there's some instructions that come with the mod, and it does come, you can get the DLC, you can get the DLC maps, DLC characters. I think some of them are tied to specific portions of the campaign, so you might have to progress through the campaign if you're getting this for PC for the first time, but with this map, you can just, you know, start up campaign, and boom, you're into this, it's free to play. And if you're wondering, well, how do you get this game, because it's not sold on Steam anymore, you have a couple of options, and still don't have enough. Those options are, you could find a used copy of the game, disc version, or something that I found out. Oh, and of course you can torrent it too, but I don't like doing that because who knows what you're gonna get. But what you can do is, the game is still being sold on Amazon for $19.99, which is what I decided to do. And you can get a code off of Amazon, a digital code, and you can enter that code onto Steam, and the game will still download, even though you can't purchase it directly from Steam. So it is definitely still very obtainable. I would have loved for them to do a remaster of this. Got those invisible guys. It's like, wait a second, I'm the only one that can turn invisible here. But yeah, if you're doing this on your own, Air Raid is a great character. Anyone with invisibility, I believe RC has invisibility. You see RC can't get up to these spots like this and hide out. But as you can see, they're starting to spawn up here. These big rocket guys. I remember, like, I used to play with friends, and, well, specifically one friend, and then maybe some randoms, and we would get into some pretty deep rounds, you know, beyond 15, where it started to get really tough. You got the big tank guy that was walking through the map, unlocked a bunch of doors. Definitely a great mode, and it's just a bummer that we haven't gotten a good Transformers game really since Fall of Cybertron, and that was in 2012. Almost 10 years ago. That's nuts to think about. I mean, we did get Rise of the Dark Spark, which was... it was alright, but a lot of reused assets, and then Devastation was a fun few-hour experience, but wasn't incredible. Finally got in here. Man, bringing back some memories. Got the overshield spot here. Try to fill this up as much as possible. Ooh, I might be able to get it. Overshield. Now I'm probably going to lose all of it right now. Let's get out of here. Ah, just not enough for the ammo. Need like one. Okay, should have enough here. There we go. Things are going to start getting a little dicey here. And then also, I am very out of practice as well. Oh man, right there. Man, I wish I still could see my multiplayer stats on the PS3, because like they were crazy. Like I had thousands of more kills than deaths. Had a great KD. Which is funny, because when the game first came out, I was pretty bad at it, but all of a sudden, it's like, I got really good at the Dark of the Moon game from High Moon Studios, and then for some reason that kind of like translated over to War for Cybertron, and I just got really good at this. But also for some reason, like my PS3 controller, the sensitivity is kind of wonky right now. With the analog sticks. But I did have to adjust the sensitivity, because I think it was at like 30 on default. And now I think I turned it down to 10. I always thought that was creepy when you turn invisible, all the Decepticons would just like stop in their tracks. Oh, hello. Take all my health. Nah, I lost a bar. I'm trying to remember if the other classes had more health in Escalation or not. I think they did. I think it was, you know, kind of like with multiplayer. Just chilling up here. Picking them off one by one. I would like to eventually, you know, do God mode and get all the way to where the tanks come out, just to experience that again, because I know I wouldn't be able to just make it on my own up to like wave 15. I think that's when they spawn in. And also to my left right here is, you know, that gate where they can spawn in, and I did tests earlier. I remember there was a glitch where you could, like, if you were a jet, you could kind of like nestle the front of your jet like pointing down and then move forward, and you could get, there's a glitch where you can get behind that wall and the glitch still works, so that's neat. Let's head back over here. Man, I wish you could just play this with other people though. Let's get the scatter blaster. Where'd the invisible guy go? You know, a trick I always used a lot of times was to leave the spiders as the last enemies in a wave. I think I just wasted this. But I would use the spiders, you know, I would leave them alone, and then that way I would have some time to, like, go spend my energon and kind of get regrouped. Because they were easy to outrun. Oh boy. Not good. I don't have enough energon. See, that's the only thing. Just wish I could see how much I had. Maybe someone will figure out a way to mod that in eventually. But just the fact that it's been less than a year and someone already figured how to do this. It's super cool. I mean, maybe, who knows, one of these days we'll be able to get like some private servers set up or something so we could still do some multiplayer. Like I said before, I would just love to go back and see my stats. And I'm out of ammo, so let's go over to the... Oh boy. This might be it. A little outnumbered here. Now, hopefully we get news about the new Transformers game coming out, and hopefully it's not like a disappointing dud like the last one. I don't even remember what it's called, and I honestly don't even care. All I know is it was bad. Oh, and there goes all... Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Okay. Alright. I've been in worse situations before in Escalation. I don't have any energon. Okay, so... And, you know, this is my first game back that I'm like, you know, like I said, I kind of like messed around a little bit, but this is the first time I'm really trying to get as far as I can. And between, you see, I have to mess with the sensitivity a little bit. Figure that out. But yeah, a little rusty. With some practice, maybe I'll be able to get, like, to, you know, some deeper rounds, but the invisibility definitely helps. And the flying. Because if you were a vehicle, like just a car or a truck or something, you could not get up here. Which is, I think, a very cool design idea. It's like, okay, let's give the jet characters another spot to hang out. The level design was great for Escalation. It really was. And I'll have to try out some of the other maps. I think there was even some DLC maps that I've never played on before. Because I think I did... I'm trying to think. I did buy the DLC. Yeah, I did, because I played a Shockwave in multiplayer. So I did buy DLC, but a lot of times, you know, the way the servers worked was you couldn't play unless everyone owned the map. And if not everyone owned the map, then it would just choose a different map. So it was always hard to play the DLC maps. Okay. Not good. And no one's around. So yeah, maybe we'll play some DLC maps later on. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm so dead. And that's it. So yeah, that is War for Cybertron Escalation offline in the year 2021. How about that? Very cool to be back into this. And unfortunately, I can't see how many kills I got, but, you know, at least we're able to play. So, like I said, the link to go to the video where they will have a link to download the mod is in the description, as well as a link to a video of how to get your PS3 controller working on Steam if you're new to it. I know probably a lot of console players out there like myself who maybe have a PC that's now capable of playing this game. So I hope you all enjoyed this blast from the past. Very cool to play Transformers War for Cybertron again, and thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Mike. See you guys.